She's living in a hotel. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The dynamic that exists between Harry and his wife is that of narcissist and intimate partner primary source. The way this dynamic functions is that she draws him in, embeds him, and then the golden period ends and he enters what is known as the sustained devaluation. During this sustained devaluation, he gets respite periods, little returns to the golden period. This always, I repeat, always happens in the dynamic between a narcissist and this type of victim. There is no alternative. There's nothing that intimate partner primary source can do to stave off the devaluation. It's always in the post. It's always going to arrive. Of course, thereafter, the victim can leave, but many don't, because they're emotionally invested. They have children with the narcissist. They've got community property. They share. It's too difficult for them to depart. And therefore, they try and fix the problems in the relationship rather than realizing they're dealing with a narcissist. They cannot be fixed and they ought to leave. More usually, it's the narcissist who gets rid of the victim first. And in sometimes, neither of those events happen, and there remains the roller coaster until one of the parties eventually passes away, dies, shuffles off this mortal coil. As part of this dynamic, Harry is subjected to repeated devaluations. Because Harry's wife is a mid-range narcissist, this means that she's largely passive-aggressive with the way that she behaves externally and to some extent towards Harry. But away from prying eyes, there will be the exhibition of heated fury also. She will devalue him, for example, by walking in front of him. Many people might not think anything of it, but it shows that she doesn't really think anything of him, that she will get in front of him to make it all about her and not about him, that she will talk over him, interrupt him. Again, people may just pass it off as, oh, that's just the nature of the conversation, rather than realizing that's her devaluing behavior, because she has no emotional empathy for him, is not utilizing any cognitive empathy to allow him to speak. She just charges ahead and talks over him, muscles him out of the way. Behind closed doors, he'll be insulted, shouted at. He'll be issued false accusations, taken round and round and round in circular conversations. The past will be brought up against him. He'll be triangulated with other people. He'll be triangulated with events. He'll be triangulated with objects. He may even be subjected to some form of physical violence. There'll be the destruction of property. There will be allegations made against him that come out of nowhere. Then he'll be subjected to promised change, promised gain, future faking, false contrition, false compassion. And he doesn't know whether he's coming or going. Because he's in the sustained devaluation, Harry's wife's narcissism is essentially saying to her, you can continue to do what you want, and he doesn't matter. He is an afterthought. In some instances, he will be controlled as a consequence of a direct action in order to bring about that control and extract fuel from him. But in other instances, it'll simply be giving him, in effect, a silent treatment by leaving him, going away elsewhere. And this appears to is what happened, as news originates in the Daily Record, where it suggests, in an article by Joel Lever, Harry's wife staying at lavish hotel as £11 million home complicating Hollywood career. Note that the suggestion that's given also shifts the blame away from her. It's my house's fault. It's not near enough to where I need to be, so therefore I'm going to go and stay in a hotel. The staying in the hotel, if accurate, demonstrates several things. First of all, a sense of entitlement. Forget the fact that I have a husband and supposedly 2 children. I'll go and base myself where I want to be. Fuck them. It also exhibits a lack of accountability. Oh, I'll let Harry and the nannies deal with the children. I don't need to do anything with my marriage. I'm here in the hotel because that's what serves my needs far more effectively. On the one hand, it enables her to pursue this dream of being a Hollywood A-lister, which of course is completely beyond her, but by situating herself at this hotel, the idea is that it's amongst the beating pulse of the entertainment and film world, meaning it's going to be easier for her to get hold of these opportunities and easier for her to continue to harangue her agency. Thus, it serves those needs, as that's what she's now pursuing. It also is because he's in the sustained devaluation means that she doesn't have to deal with Prince Harry. It's devaluing behaviour by shunting him to one side, in essence saying, you can stay in Monty Shit Show, I'm not bothered about spending time with you. Now, of course, in relationships, it's often the case that people have to work away. They may have a long commute, and therefore they leave early, come home late during the week. Sometimes they may have to stay over. In some instances, people travel. They're a travelling salesperson, for instance, or they have to go to conferences, or they have to be parachuted into various regional headquarters. Some people, of course, are away on tours of duty when they're in the armed forces. But here, because there's Zoom and there's things called telephones, she doesn't actually need to be staying in a hotel, but rather her narcissism allows her to do so because she has no emotional empathy for Harry and he's in the sustained devaluation. It's basically, I'm not concerned about him, I'm doing what I want. Of course, what it also enables her to do is, if her narcissism so chooses to cause her to look for a replacement for Harry, it gives her the opportunity to engage in infidelity away from any potential threat to control over Harry because he won't see it. If she's luring back unsuspecting suitors to the hotel, and of course, there's no evidence that this has actually happened, but what it does mean is that she's ideally placed to be able to do this should she do so, and as I've explained to you before, narcissists are notoriously unfaithful. Thus, it increases the possibility of this happening and her seeking out a replacement for Harry. She keeps Harry because he still has some purpose. He still provides fuel. He's still comparatively easy to control. There are still some residual benefits associated with him. That's why she hasn't jettisoned him so far, as there has not been a disengagement trigger. However, that's not going to stop her looking around for a replacement. And the narcissism prefers for there to be a segueing, that she doesn't get rid of Harry and then have a period of being single, but rather she tees up somebody, and then when the narcissism recognises, yep, they're good to be anointed as the primary source, they're in and Harry's out, and there's a seamless transition. But what does the article tell us about her living at this hotel? Well, apparently, Harry's wife is reportedly spending an increased amount of time at the Beverly Hills Hotel as she continues to make a move towards her Hollywood career success, following a tough few months for her. It comes after rumours that the 42-year-old set up a base at a hotel suite close to her talent agency, William Morris Endeavour in Los Angeles. She was spotted outside the hotel earlier this week. Harry's wife appeared in a selfie among a group of fans. More about that later, because that's rather entertaining, which was shared on social media. It would appear she could be using it as a base, considering her £11 million home in Monty Shit Show is around 85 miles, at least a 90-minute drive from West Hollywood. The photo that was shared was by a broadcaster, and again, more about that in due course. This all comes after commentator Kinsey Schofield told GB News back in July one of the rumours is that Harry's wife has set up shop in a hotel suite across from her agency, and that she has her eyes set on bigger opportunities. Well, this selfie that was shared seems to support that's the case, unless Harry's wife just happens to decide that she's going to drive up to West Hollywood, hang around for a bit and see if there's someone available for a photo opportunity. It would suggest that she actually is staying in the area, which demonstrates once again the devaluing behaviour of Harry, the parental abrogation of her responsibilities and duties towards the children, and the fact that she just does what she wants. Could she be at this hotel suite? Absolutely. It would serve her needs as a narcissist, it would be the behaviour of a narcissist, and as mentioned, it may well enable her to find a replacement for Harry far more easily. It's highly likely, therefore, that she is living in a hotel. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.